Amra, the characteristics of roots. Before we get into the chapter again, if I ask you about Jay, how many of you have really, really checked or observed the growth of a plant? Have you ever observed the growth of a plant from a sapling to a big one? কখনো কেউ দেখেছো, observe করেছো? Out of interest, you have grown something at home. So, out of interest, has anybody observed the growth of a plant?
ম্যাম নিজের বাড়িতে তো কোনো গাছ উঠতে মানে করিনি, কিন্তু পাশের বাড়িতে একটা মানে লন আছে ওদের, and they like planted a banana tree, so I watched it grow. মানে স্কুল থেকে ফিরতাম, জানলাটা খোলা থাকতো, তো ওখানে মানে এক দুবার দেখতাম রয়েছে।
Okay. So you have observed the plant growing up, above the soil. Under the soil, the growth hoy, any plant you have kept in a glass jar. Okay, and then you have seen the roots growing up. That I'm talking about that. Have you seen that? The roots growing. My question was not correct there. Yes, okay. Okay. So what was your observation, if I ask you? Anyone else? The same observation kind of thing? If you have observed, তুমি কি দেখেছো বলো?
একটা লং রুটটা থাকে, সেটা থেকে আস্তে আস্তে মাল্টিপল ব্রাঞ্চিং, সো একটা কাইন্ড অফ বুশ মতো হয়ে যায় পুরো জায়গাটা, আস্তে আস্তে ফাইন হতে হতে একটা বুশ টাইপ হয়ে যায়।
Right. Good observation. That's good. That's way. This way only we can keep on observing and learning more from nature, and that will develop more interest. Anyone else? Anyone else has observed something like that? Observed something like that? Yes. কেউ দেখেছি আর আমরা? হয়তো maybe we have not noticed, but next time, wherever there is any plant, generally the plant that grows by stem cutting. Money plant is a very good example. There are various other plants. I'll share a video of a coleus that I have that simply grew when I had kept it in a glass jar, and multiple roots came up, and the new plant also came up. After the class, I'll share in the group. আমি একটা ইউটিউব ছোট্ট ভিডিও বানিয়েছি on that. You'll just find it's beautiful. Anyway, so roots, before the plant grows above the soil, the roots actually, we know that roots anchor, we have been talking about it. The roots actually grows enough in number to hold fast with the soil, to provide water and minerals. So bunch of rootlets grows. And then again, if I come to the fact that there are two types of plants, two types of roots, tap root and fibrous root. So any idea what kind of root is this tap root? Any idea we have the tap root system? Say for example, mango. Mango is a dicot plant and it grows with a tap root. Tap root mane kirokom hoy tap root? Tap root grows with a long main primary root, and then the roots, the lateral roots, the secondary root and the tertiary root comes up. But if we talk about a grass plant or the doob grass or any monocots, in that case we really don't have the main primary root growing down. We have a bunch of rootlets. The adventitious root comes up. Okay, if you see the photos, it will be easy for you to understand. I'll try to draw here and show. Just again, let me share my screen. All these chapters, of plant physiology, they will help you to understand until we are very much we have that proper observation. It becomes difficult for us to figure out what is exactly happening. Anyway, I'll just try to draw here. What is my color? Green. Okay. So if this is the soil, and then a tap root system is growing. Tap root system grows like this: main root and then the secondary root. The secondary root or the lateral root grows from there, and then the tertiary root grows, and then after the tertiary root, what grows is I'll just change the color. Tertiary root then grows the root hair. All right. These root hairs are very, very fine thread-like, which these are quite thick ones, but then actually they are very thin. This is the primary root. This is the lateral or the secondary root. This green one is the tertiary root. And what is this? These are the root hairs. Got it? These are root hairs. Very fine, very thin. You can just look at figure 4.1 of your textbook. Check that. A bundle of root hairs you can see here. So that root hairs over here. This is when we are drawing this is the tap root which we can see in dicot. Tap root which we can see in dicot. In monocot, we actually see monocot. In monocot, we see the primary root comes up, but then after it fixes to the soil, various secondary root develops by the side, and then the bundle of root comes up from here, and then the main root perishes. This is the adventitious roots, we can say. So monocot and dicot varies this way. We will be focusing mainly on this system, and especially our next topic is the root hairs. How do the root hairs actually play an important role in this process of absorption? Okay, rather the characteristics of root hairs. We are in the heading 4.3. Yes, 4.3, characteristics of roots for absorbing water. This, let me just go down. Yeah, root hairs. So the first point, if we find here, the book says the surface area of the root is enormous. The surface area of root is enormous. Enormous. I hope you can understand my handwriting. Surface area of the root is enormous. Now again, I'm getting back to this diagram, and we can see if it would have been a single root end like this kind of part, then we have only this much region. এইটুকু জায়গা দিয়েই কিন্তু এই absorptionটা হতো. Then when we have this root hairs coming up, we can see the surface area. The area increases. Here I am showing a very small area of the root, but then all the tip part of the roots, they develop these root hair kind of structure, and that is why the surface area increases to a greater extent. And that is why it said surface area of the root is enormous when we are talking about the root hair. Okay. Now, the ability of the roots to draw water from the soil is dependent on three characteristics: a huge surface area provided by the rootlets and the root hairs. This is the first point. It is common experience that even a small garden plant such as balsam money, which plant is balsam plant? Can you tell me which plant is balsam plant? Balsam plant konta? Dopati full, you know what is dopati full? When we go for buying flowers, pujor ফুল যখন আমরা কিনতে যাই, along with marigold, they provide us with some purple color, white color, patla, petal wala flower. That is balsam plant. This balsam plant, speciality is it has got a very soft stem. So this balsam plant is used in various experiments. Balsam plant. So when gently uprooted from the soil, shows a thick bunch of rootlets. A thick bunch of rootlets, like this bunch of rootlets. And here, if all, when carefully examined, under each rootlet would show hundreds of root hairs. If all the roots hairs of this plant were to be laid end to end, they would cover a length of many kilometers. Right? So if we add up the root hairs and extend it, it will actually form a large surface area. So that explains the first point about a large surface area of the root is enormous. Then we go to the second point, and the second point explains that higher concentration, the root hairs contain the solution, the cell sap at a higher concentration. Higher concentration of these 3 points are very important. Higher concentration of the cell sap. Now, who will tell me what is cell sap? Cell sap key. Who will tell me? What is cell sap? A plant cell.
Ma'am, the solution of the plant cells.
Right. So this is a vacuole. এর মধ্যে যে স্যাপটা রয়েছে, the solution. This is the cell sap. This is clear to all of us. So cell sap with a higher concentration. Let's see. Now the root hair contains cell sap of a higher concentration than that of the surrounding water. This cell, if this is a root hair cell, so here these root hair cell, if we are talking about this yellow colored root hairs, they have a higher concentration of cell sap. So if they have a higher concentration of cell sap, that is a hypertonic solution. So are we aware about these three types of solution, iso, hypo and hypertonic? Are we aware?
Ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll just draw a glass, three glasses. Three glasses, they are looking like glasses. Solute, solute, solute. Okay. Now A, B, C. Now suppose I give, no, a solute is there and then water is added to it. Water is added, water is added. So based on the solute and solvent concentration that we can see here, A has got less solute, solute, I will write here. Dara. Solute and solvent. Okay. So A, figure A, what happened? Figure A has less solute and more solvent. ঠিক আছে? Figure B has got equal solute and solvent. What about figure C? Figure C has more solute and less solvent. Can we see it from here? These are the three conditions here, right? A with less solute and more solvent, B with equal solute and solvent, C with more solute and less solvent. I'll get back to you. Now, suppose I give, okay, glass A. Suppose I give glass A, এখানে সবচেয়ে আগে সুদেব জ্যোতিকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি আমি। সুদেব জ্যোতিকে গ্লাস A দেওয়া হলো। ঠিক আছে? গ্লাস A. গ্লাস বি দেখতে পাচ্ছি আমি তোষানি, তোষানি উইথ গ্লাস বি, অ্যান্ড গ্লাস সি কাকে দেখতে পাচ্ছি? ওকে, জেনিভা ওয়ান্টস টু টেক গ্লাস সি। ওকে, টু ইউ গ্লাস সি। সো গ্লাস এ টু সুদেব জ্যোতি। সুদেব জ্যোতি, ইউ আর হিয়ার? শুনতে পাচ্ছিস? ইউ ক্যান হিয়ার মি? ওকে, সুদেব জ্যোতি হলো গ্লাস এ। দাঁড়া এক মিনিট। গ্লাস এ, গ্লাস বি তোষানি, গ্লাস সি হলো জেনিভা। আর একটু ক্লিয়ার করি যে গ্লাস এ, like all the three glasses are filled with water. See, let us understand this way. All the three glasses are filled with water. In glass A, we add 1 spoonful of sugar. In glass B, we add 2 to 3 spoonful of sugar. Okay, Toshani. And Geneva, in glass C, we add 10 spoonful of sugar. So glass A with 1 spoonful of sugar, glass B with 2 to 3 spoonful of sugar, glass C with 10 spoonful of sugar. All right? Now you stir it properly. 3 of you stir it properly. Have you stirred, 3 of you? Those whose name I have taken, you should come up with the video. We are talking. Okay, you stirred it properly, right? Okay. Stir করার পরে সুদেব জ্যোতি, all of you drink. সুদেব জ্যোতি, you are drinking your glass of water. Actually, it's a solution now. It's a sugar solution for 3 of you. Yeah. So what is your experience on this? You're drinking a glass of water with a spoonful of sugar in it. What's your experience? How does it taste?
না, আমারটা কম মিষ্টি।
কম মিষ্টি। Shudabjito is not happy with the mishti of the solution. Okay, kom mishti. Toshani, what about your glass of solution?
আমারটা সলভেন্টের কম্প্যারিজনে সলিউটটা কম, মানে অতটা বেশি কনসেন্ট্রেটেড না।
You are drinking it, and you will be telling how is it taste. Nothing else. No biological
sweet.
chemical explanation.
সুইট বাট বেশি
ঠিকঠাক
সুইট
sweet.
না, ঠিকঠাক।
Tik-tak sweet. It's not much sweet. Like Shudabjyoti said that or glass of water is pansha kind of, not very sweet. তোমারটা হলো ঠিকঠাক sweet. জানিবা তুমি বলো, তুমি তো 10 spoonful of sugar. তোমারটা কি মিলেছে? Did the sugar, mix up well to the solution?
ম্যাম ওর সুগার লেভেল হাই হয়ে গেছে বোধহয়।
বেরিয়ে গেছে, yes, বেরিয়েই গেছে। Anyway, Nimisha, when you are saying, when responding, let me ask you, suppose you have been given that glass of water with 10 spoonful of sugar mixed in it, you kept on stirring.
ডায়াবেটিস হয়ে যাবে ম্যাম।
খাওয়ার পরে কিরকম লাগলো? সিম্পল কথা বলেছি। খুব মিষ্টি, ইট ইজ টু মাচ মিষ্টি, টু মাচ সুইট, এন্ড একটা সময় গা গুলি যাচ্ছে, বাপরে ইতনা সারা মিঠা, হাউ উইল আই ড্রিঙ্ক দিস? এন্ড দেন সুষ্টা তো আবার এরকম করছে কেন? হোয়াট ইজ দ্য মিনিং? ভালো লাগছে না তাই মিষ্টি বেশি। তো এই যে pass the glass game, okay, we'll talk about it. So that you are drinking this water, this Nimisha and Janiva, both of them responded, it's too sweet. What do you feel? How can we make it more comfortable মানে খেলে ঠিকঠাক লাগবে? How can we do that? Is there any upays?
আরো জল দিয়ে
Janiva says আর একটু জল মিশিয়ে দিলে ভালো হয়, একটু জল মিশিয়ে দিলে একটু ডাইলিউট হয়ে যাবে, it's more concentrated, we say that way. You are correct, ekdom correct, 100% correct, three of you. So getting back to that glass wala diagram, I'm not going to the diagram, but let's explain that. The first glass of solution with less amount of solute and more solvent, that formed a solution. We say less solute and more solvent. So we with respect to the solute concentration, we refer to this kind of solution to be a hypotonic solution. Where the solute is less and the solvent is more. Is it clear to all of us? It's hypotonic, solute is less and solvent is more. Right? Okay, all of you? Passing on to Toshani's glass of water, which has got almost equal amount of solute and solvent, and she says that it's okay to drink and that's where the equal amount of solute and solvent has been added. So that's an isotonic solution. Iso, similar, equal. So isotonic solution, equal solvent and solution. What about the other one, the third one, glass C, that contains so much of solute and very little amount of water? So with respect to solute concentration, again, that is hypertonic solution. Why? Because more of solute is there. Hypertonic solution, right? We got it? Could we understand that the concept of iso, hypo and hypertonic solution? Concentration of solute, a thumbs up. Hypo is where there is solute is less. We are talking with respect to the solute concentration. Solute is less and solvent is more. Solute is equal, solvent is equal. Solute is more and solvent is less. These are the three conditions. Less solute, more solvent is hypotonic solution. Got it? We understood? Because we need to understand this to understand the concentration in the root hair cell. Shabbai, বুঝতে পেরেছি? A thumbs up. If not, please ask me. I'll again repeat myself. Okay, that's good to see.
Water মানে ওয়াটারের কনসেন্ট্রেশনটা বেশি, ওয়াটারের কোয়ান্টিটিটা বেশি
কিসে?
হাইপার।
When we are talking about hypertonic, see, I said ki bollam solute, with respect to solute concentration we are talking about the solution. So solute concentration e jokhon bolchi, when solute is less, water is more, that is hypotonic. Solute less, hypotonic. Equal, isotonic. Solute more, solvent less, it's hypertonic. Less water, more solute. Got it, Shisha?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now my next question is that hypertonic solution where we have large amount of solute and less amount of water. How can we make it comfortable for drinking, as Geneva said, we can add water to it. And she's very correct. Unless and until we add water to it, we will feel, vomiting and uneasiness. Like if we have, we drink those, we have that aam panna and then squash, যেগুলো গরমের সময় we drink না, we keep it in the fridge, we take out a glass, drop thoda sa অল্প একটুখানি of the amount in it, and then we add water. It becomes diluted and then we drink it. We feel good to drink it. Likewise here also, if we consider this to be the condition inside a cell, this hypertonic condition, just now we were talking about this condition, that inside the cell the condition is hypertonic. So what will be the condition of the cell? Cell will need more water. So then the cell takes water from the surrounding cell. The cell which has the larger amount of, the concentrated amount of solute inside, it has a tendency to take in more water from the surrounding, and there starts the condition of absorption, movement of molecules towards the concentrated solution. And across the cell membrane, which molecule can travel? We know it's just water molecule that can travel across the cell membrane. So movement of water molecule across the cell membrane from their region of higher concentration to their region of lower concentration across the semi-permeable membrane is what?
Osmosis.
Is osmosis. Right? And that is why these roots, they have a tendency to take in water from outside. Why? Because the cellular concentration, cells in the root hair cell has a hypertonic solution. The cell sap is hypertonic. So they take in water from the surrounding, and there the process of absorption begins. And then the cell-to-cell osmosis goes on, regarding which we will be reading. Is this concept clear to you? We need to understand this to carry on with the later part of the chapter.
Yes,
we
ma'am.
understand?
Ma'am, একটা question.
হুম
Ma'am, syllabus related না ma'am, plasmolysis কি ছিল ma'am?
পরে আসছি, উইল গো টু ইট লেটার। আস্তে আস্তে যাই, লেটস টেক বেবি স্টেপস, একটু একটু করে বুঝি। এইটুকু বুঝতে পেরেছি সবাই? দ্য সেল স্যাপ হ্যাজ আ হায়ার কনসেন্ট্রেশন। আইল গেট ব্যাক টু দি পার্ট হিয়ার। দাঁড়া, yes, the root hair cells, I'm just reading this point. The root hairs are the extensions of the epidermal cells of the root. They also contain large vacuoles filled with a solution called cell sap. Some salts are dissolved on it and the cell sap. Some salts are dissolved in it, and the cell sap therefore usually has a concentration higher than that of the surrounding water. Okay, so this characteristics is an important requirement to draw in water from the outside, that is for the occurrence of osmosis, which is we'll be talking about. This point is clear to all of us, the second point? Yes? Now, why this absorption again becomes easier? There's another point, the third point. The root hairs have thin walls. The root hairs have thin walls. The root hair, they are meristematic tissues. Is it not? They are just growing, they are multiplying. The root hairs, they have got thin walls, and then the cell membrane and the cell wall, they are forming, so they are thin. So it's easily just a single layer of cell. So it becomes easy for the movement of the water molecules to get inside the cell, and quickly and easily. So the cell wall is thin and permeable. It allows the movement of water molecules and the dissolved substances freely in and out of the cell. And the cell membrane is very thin and it's semi-permeable. Semi-permeable, allowing only water molecules to pass through, leaving the water molecules to pass through, leaving the solute. So the secret of absorption of water from the soil by the roots lies mainly in this characteristic. Got it? This portion we need to understand very thoroughly, properly, so that the later part of the chapter, যেটা বললো plasmolysis, endoosmosis, exoosmosis, that we get to understand better. If it's okay for you to understand, please give a thumbs up so that we understand যে বুঝতে পেরেছি সব কটা